But if I extract myself and have my alone time and learn from creators all over the world, brought me to Miami, which in that case brought me to the right people, which in that case brought me to the same frequency and energy as people that I've been watching the whole time. So
neuroplasticity. I'm trying to reprogram it so that the first thing I don't think of is all the bad, shitty stuff that's happening. I'm really trying to reprogram myself so that the energy that I'm bringing into my day is better, but that first hour or two is very difficult.
We're shooting this on an Action 6, the DJI Action 6. And if this is actually a good way to film podcast on the go, we want to film everything because the most raw and organic type of content is the one that is not really planned. And so this is kind of a little test to see if it looks really good. We ready to rock. I know we were having a conversation beforehand, but like us setting it up, then there's friction there, right? And then there's like, oh man, I'm gonna be on camera. Your mind's kind of like wired to like think and put that like camera filter on.
But see, that's the thing that you do really well at. That's why you execute, because you talk about friction. Just do it.
Yeah.
Because if you wait, basically, it's the worst way to put it, but I guess the foreplay's over already. You're kind of like, I don't want to shoot this shit anymore. I'm not in the mood anymore. It's got to be, you got to just go. You got to be ready.
And that's why I think I'm like, bro, if we set up like, maybe have like these little small cameras, or even have this, I'll keep this in the
Those
studio.
are perfect, bro.
These just little, have
them
ready to go with a magic arm.
And so right now you're streaming, or not streaming, you are streaming this to your phone so you can see what it looks like, right? So for those of you guys out there
who don't know exactly what's going on, so we're looking at it from the phone. And it took us, like less than 5 minutes to set up. Obviously the lights are one thing, but the actual camera setup, we just put it on a tripod and then we connected two mics easily.
Yeah. And that's
we'll
a great
see how
thing.
This turns out. Obviously, this is the first time like seeing it, but
well, that's why it's important for business owners who need to create more marketing material to have frictionless execution. As in the regular business, if it took a long time to get from point A to point B, their business would struggle. But especially when you're creating your marketing, because business isn't business, business is marketing. So if nobody knows you exist, you don't exist. You're not doing it for anybody, and you're not making revenue. So like having your setup that you have, Carlos, even for a business.
You know what's cool, bro? Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead. You're good. You're good.
Things come to me, and you're like this too. We're both like this. We both bust each other out. But once we have something, we have to get it out. Otherwise, we'll forget. I noticed that when the sweet spot was when I wanted like a Sony camera and I didn't have the money for it, and I was just using my phone. And I'm like, man, all these guys have like these Sony cameras, and they're not working. They're not putting it to good use. And when I got the Sony camera, bro, I went crazy. And I didn't have the right lens for it too. It was like a 24. It was tight. It wasn't super wide. And yet, bro, like a year, I went in for a year and just went crazy on the videos because I had the gear and I was so excited and I actually valued it. Where now is if you make a pretty good amount of money and you buy all this gear, you're just like, don't really use it as much as you could and you value it.
How many A7 IIIs and 4s and FX 3s do we have around?
So many.
We have them sitting around, and then what do we end up using?
The phone.
Or that.
So as much gear as you want and as much gear as you don't really need it. Obviously, there's going to be those scenarios where you're a filmmaker and you have like, FX3 or whatever, professional camera. But for the most part, bro, like, just put out good work. And it's more funner when you're like trying to make something happen when you don't have the right gear.
Yeah.
Because that means you actually value what you have and you value your creativity. And when you have everything, it's cool as well. But like, there's something about your creative that kind of just shuts off.
Are you tired?
At least in my perspective.
Are you yet tired of all the AI generated content? I know we use it. I know we make it. But do you think there will be a point where, and because I'm saying this because I personally right now, like, so let's say I'm on YouTube and I'm looking for a meditation video with Joe Dispenza, right, or something, and I'll go there and I'll look at it. When 90% of the stuff that's there is AI generated, his voice, they've taken his likeness and they use it. But I'm so tired of finding the AI generated stuff. I want the real Joe Dispenza. I want the real actual person. Do you think that not only having such an easy setup makes it more authentic and more genuine because you're in the moment? It's less produced per se. It's still good quality, but you can tell Like right now, I'm sure people can tell in this video that you and I are not AI generated. Like we set this thing up on the desk and we're actually shooting this. Yeah. Do you think there will come a time, or do you think we're in it already, where this kind of like just raw, unfiltered, kind of just shoot, run it and gun it style content is going to become more popular rather than all this like overly edited AI-driven marketing material and videos? Does that make sense? I don't know if I went all over the place there.
Because like that goes to show that human connection will always win.
Yes, and I think people are getting there. I think we lack human connection right now. I think we're inundated with just...
That's why relatability always wins, right? Because it makes it human.
Yeah. Our nervous systems are so just overwhelmed with content and stuff
about this.
That we're trying to figure out what's real and not real, and who do I want to listen to, who do I want to consume, who do I want to expose myself to. There's something different about when you put pen to paper, when you're writing, taking a note, or just whatever, like just the act of pressing it on and writing it, there's got to be some science behind this. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm not going to claim that I know it.
There's physical world, there's a mental world, and then there's a spiritual world, right? You being able to write something down is bringing into the
reality.
Physical and mental world into the physical world.
Yeah, that's it. That's it right there.
That's cool. That's cool that you said that,
You just
bro.
hit the nail on the head. You're bringing it in. So let's say you're writing down your goals. I would advise against if you guys are writing down your goals, and I do this daily. I could even show you guys right now. I call it an action list. I'll show you guys in a minute. It's an action list, and on my action list, this is how I stay efficient with my day. I have the top 5 things that absolutely have to get done. Whether they take me 5 minutes or 5 hours or 15 hours. Those 5 things have to get done, right? And then I have a little section on there with just like reminders, just like little things that aren't necessarily top of mind, have to be done right this minute, urgent, but just things that like, they pop in my head and I can't forget that. I'll write it down, right? And then on there, I have my goals. And I rewrite the same goals every single day. So I have a list of personal goals and I have a list of business goals. And the goals, for the most part, stay the same until I achieve it. So I will physically write them down on this piece of paper. And what I'm getting to is this. If you have goals, which I hope you do, and there are things you want to accomplish, do not type them into your computer and do not write them into the notes of your phone. Like Carlos just said, bring it in to the real world. Put pen to paper. So by getting it out of your brain, into your hand, onto a piece of paper, and putting it on the piece of paper, you have now brought it into the physical realm, into the real
It's also like
world.
Easier said than done, because a lot of people just don't find it. Not that they don't actually make the time to sit down and be with themselves. And I think that's another conversation where it's you have to sit with yourself. Like,
You have to create that space. You have to reconnect in order to connect.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like we love people, and I feel like you're like me too. You're kind of like, you get your best energy with people. So when you have people, you get your energy.
Yeah.
That's what makes an extrovert. Where it's like if you get your best energy when you're like recharging by yourself, you're an introvert. Yeah, bro. I feel like you having that like alone time really makes a huge difference with like your ideas and your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because like forgetting all the noise from your scrolling, forgetting even fasting for a little bit, clear your mind. And you just waking up in the morning with silence and nothing but your thoughts and yourself, that is who you are really.
Yeah.
That in reality is who you are.
That scares
at
me
its
right
core.
now, though. I wake up with so much anxiety and stress. The first part of my day, if I'm being very honest with you, Carlos, is probably the hardest part of my day when I wake up. Just because of, so currently right now, you know this, but for people watching, like, I'm in this extreme war right now, fighting things that are, in my mind unfair, but God has a plan, and it's not for us to decipher the reason for the suffering or the pain or for the war, but you got to fight it and trust in Him that you're fighting it. So like right now, because you've heard of the lessons of the seasons, right?
Lessons of seasons.
Yeah, have you heard of lessons of seasons? So life is like the seasons. So it's a cycle. Your life is like the seasons, okay? So at the beginning of every year, there's a springtime. It's beautiful out. Right after springtime is the summertime. The summertime is the best. There's sun every day, the weather's nice. The fall, things start to get a little bit uglier, things start to change. And then the wintertime, the wintertime's tough. So what that means is your life goes through these cycles where you'll be living in a winter. Maybe it's a very challenging time in your life. Maybe you're suffering a lot. Maybe things are happening within your personal life, your business, your family, maybe your mom, your brother, your sister, your kids. Something maybe is bad or challenging at that time, right? That's the wintertime. But what always follows the wintertime, Carlos? Without a doubt, springtime. The leaves start to change. You go outside. It's here in Chicago, at least for us, it's 40 degrees, and we're like, whew, it's amazing outside. You feel really good, right? And then it gets a little bit hotter, and you're like, oh man, this is great. You start to feel good internally. You feel good, and then what follows the springtime? The summertime, and that's when things are great. So life is like the seasons, right? Some in your cycle of life, sometimes your summers are longer than your winters, and at some points in your life, your winters are longer than your summers. It's just the phase of your life that you're in, right? So when I say that I'm fighting a war, right now it's kind of a winter time for me, even though I put on a smile. It's a winter time because I'm fighting some stuff. So in the morning, what I say, in the morning when I wake up, I'm coming back to consciousness, and for some reason, and I'm working on this, Carlos, my neuroplasticity. I'm trying to reprogram it so that the first thing I don't think of is all the bad, shitty stuff that's happening. I'm really trying to reprogram myself so that the energy that I'm bringing into my day is better, but that first hour or two is very difficult sometimes.
Yeah, your nervous system, that's what it is.
The nervous system. And it wakes me up. I don't even need an alarm clock.
Yeah.
So I drive my kids to school. My daughter, who's in high school, and my other one who's in junior high, I drive them to practices every morning. So I'm up by like 5:15 every morning because I have to be out of the house. So I'll naturally, obviously, wake up to do that, but I don't have an alarm clock. My body just wakes me up, and I'm literally like,
how do you sleep?
I'm literally just like,
how do you sleep?
Oh my God, what the heck is going on
how
today?
How do you sleep?
You know what?
Like, how do you actually go to sleep? How do you relax so you can?
I actually play YouTube.
Yeah.
I play
Same.
subconscious meditation, sleeping
in the
videos,
background.
just depending on whatever it is that I'm like.
Now I can't sleep
feeling.
in silence. I don't know if that.
Yeah.
Can't sleep in silence.
I know, and I heard some crazy thing too recently, Carlos, where like they're saying like white noise and all this stuff isn't good for you. But you know what? If it's helping me sleep, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out in 30 years.
We'll find out.
I'll find out in 30 years.
It's kind of cool that you bring it up because we were talking about how like at the end of the day, through everything,
Yeah.
like this is the thing that's gotten me out of like bad or good places in general is the phrase of this too shall pass. Because whether the good, whether the bad, it's gonna pass. So you kind of have to embrace that moment. And that's general life as a whole, right? Generally, this is life as a whole. It's where you extract yourself from the moment. Because like I said, right, like the human body really does crave change. And that's just the human instinct, right? We're indoors, oh, we gotta go out for a walk or fresh air.
Yeah.
We're outside, oh, we gotta go home. We crave change. And we constantly have to be stimulated, whether it be how we are evolved or whatever it was to keep us alive. I don't know why, but our human body craves change. So
Well,
yeah, it's crazy to think that.
are you familiar with Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
So there's 6 human needs that he speaks about. I don't know if he created this, but this is a big part of his programming and his programs. So there's 6 basic human needs. The first one is certainty. So you have to know that your roof isn't going to cave in from a bomb coming overhead because we're at war, right? So right now, you and I have certainty. we're in America, right? We know hopefully right now nothing's going to come through our roof. I mean, it's 2026. We don't know.
Not the chemtrails.
Yeah, who knows?
Not
but
the
no.
bro, it was super clear outside, and now it's
Yeah.
super cloudy. You see,
Yeah, it
something's
is.
going on.
And then tomorrow, they say it's going to be sunny. So first thing is certainty.
Also, like this is extra, bro.
What's
you
that?
know what?
What's it?
I close my window every time it's cloudy now, and whenever it's like open skies, I open them all the way up.
Yeah.
I'm like, something's in the air. That's what
Yeah,
wants to get me
yeah.
sick.
There's always, you don't know what's in there. There's stuff in there. There's definitely
Anyways,
stuff
go ahead,
in there.
bro.
Oh, no, you're good. So the first human need is certainty, right? We need to know that we have some level of basic safety, if you want to
Yeah.
call it that, or just knowing that things are going to be okay. But then what's ironic is God has a sense of humor because the next human need is basically uncertainty, right? Which is variety. We want to kind of have a level of options in our life. You don't want to really live and do the same exact thing every day. Like for a period of time, if you did that over your whole lifetime, like what kind of life is that? I know I'm full of quotes, but like Jim Rohn, who actually was Tony Robbins' coach, he would always say like, imagine if you read this book and chapter 1 was everything's okay, right? And then you flip to the next chapter. Chapter 2 is everything is still okay, right? And then you went to chapter 3 and it was like everything's okay. And then chapter 4, everything is still okay, right? Like, would you finish reading that book? Like, that everything's going to be okay, which is good. But at the same time, our body does want, our mind, our psyche wants variety, right? So the second thing is variety. First is certainty. Second is variety. Third is love, right? We need love. We need acceptance. We want to know that we can give love and we can receive love, right? The fourth is significance. We need to know that we're doing something significant, whether good or bad. So a good example of this is, let's say you have no money and you're poor and you live in the inner cities and you have no influence at all. What will immediately give you significance? Pointing a gun in a stranger's face. Immediately, who has significance? I got significance. I don't need money to be significant. I don't need a nice car to be significant. I don't need nice clothes.
Whether good or bad.
I have a gun in your face and all of a sudden now I'm significant, right? So significance is a human need. We want to know that we have some sort of like purpose to somebody else, significance, right? The next thing is giving. We honestly, we want to give. Like, I think the most fulfilled people in life are the ones who can finally get to a place where they can focus on just giving, So for me, I've always had this thing I would tell myself so that my principle would never get steered in the wrong direction, meaning like, I've always been a very ambitious person to get more, whether it's financially or just whatever it is in life. But sometimes if you're not guided right, that could be poisonous, right? So I'd always say to myself, get more to give more. So, okay, fine. Be ambitious. Go make as much money as you can. Go get as much as you can. Go do as much as you can do. What number is good enough for you? Like they say, the joke in, I think, the movie's Wall Street, like, what's your number, right? When are you going to stop? And he's just like, more. Like he doesn't have a number. He's just like, more, right? It's the same thing. Get more to give more, right? And it's interesting because the first part of your life, you're just focused on yourself and making it. And then the middle part of your life is making sure you have enough to give your family that you've created. And then the last part of your life is what I'm looking forward to is having such an abundance that you got to give it all away, right? Whether it's to your own kids or to other people who maybe struggle with similar things that you struggled with, in life, and you want to be able to give them a little bit of a boost, I wouldn't say save them. I've tried that with people and it never works. Saving people never works because they take it as...
You can't help
it. Eventually becomes entitlement. It will eventually become entitlement when you save people. Like if you literally just take all their problems away, like they had a major problem and you didn't give them a hand in rescuing themselves or helping themselves, and you just saved them. You literally just yanked them out of the water and right here, right? There's this sense of entitlement that eventually grows where it's just like, oh, you saved me once, save me again, right? But they never built the muscle to figure out how to get out of that situation.
They probably don't value it too, because like you didn't have that mission to save yourself.
Yeah. PBD? Patrick Bet-David, Value Attainment. Yeah. Okay, so he had this great post many years ago, and it resonated with me so strong because I was going through it, still am going through it at this moment. It's like it's about helping people, and it goes through the 5 stages of helping somebody. So like the same person, let's say somebody comes to you, Carlos, and they're like, man, Carlos, bro, I really need some help this month, man. Can you give me a couple $100? Like, I just need you to help me this month. Like, I just need some help. And then, of course, we're going to be like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I got you, right? Oh, a couple $100? Yeah, I got you first time, right? And oh, Carlos, thank you. I'm so grateful. I really appreciate you helping me this month, right? Then the second time they come to you, Carlos, and like, oh, man, I'm just having a moment. You think you can help me out again, bro? And you're like, you know what? All right, fine, I'll help you, right? The second time, they're still kind of excited, but they're not as excited as the first time, right? They're like, oh, bro, I appreciate it. They might be even a little bit embarrassed. They might still have a conscience. They might be like, damn, I can't believe I got to ask Carlos for money again. You know what I mean? Then the third time comes around, Carlos. I'm like, hey, bro, you know what? I know I came to you twice already, but dude, I'm really, man, I really need your help again, man. I promise this would be the last time, right? And what do? You help them, right? You help them. But this time, they're not excited. The embarrassment has kind of gone away, where the second time they're a little embarrassed to ask you again. Mm-hmm. Now the third time, it's become normal for them to go to you, right? So then they go to you the fourth time. And by the fourth time they go to you, they're basically entitled to your help because you helped them out 3 times already. So they're like, Carlos, you help me? And they're like, oh, man.
Don't help to drown.
Yeah, they want to help again. Fourth time, and they're like, damn, you help them? And then they're like, they're grateful, but they're still just like, oh, well, he's got it. He's helped me 4 times. I'm good. Like, there's almost a sense of entitlement by the 4th time. Now, this is the most dangerous part. This has happened to me many times. The 5th time, when you're like, you know what, bro? I can't anymore. I'm sorry. I've helped you 4 times already. Like, you know, like, we got to figure out a way for you to help yourself, you know, or something, right? Now, the 5th time, you say no, you become the enemy. They forget all the 4 times you helped them. The 5th time now, they're like, man, this dude won't help me. He's helped me so many times before. Doesn't he know how lucky he is? Man, everything just comes so easy to him. Man, opportunities just show up at his front doorstep. Man, Carlos doesn't even have to try.
You know why though, right? Remember we were talking about it?
Yeah.
People, like as humans, we're wired to see the danger. We're wired to say the negatives first. So that's why even when you're like posting something and then something, you get a lot of good stuff, but the thing that catches your eyes is the bad things.
Yeah.
So we're always caught up in the negatives as humans.
Yeah. You don't see the good that person did for you 4 times before.
And it's just a human nature, bro. It's like you not study, but you learn about these psychology and how the human brain works and how, like, for us to, I don't know where I heard this, but like for us to really have our version of history and have more history is you find more things that are thoughtful because the brain remembers things that are extreme in emotion. That's why you remember the things that were like extreme in your life and things
Those
that
core
are
memories.
Yeah, core memories. Why?
As they like to call them.
They're peak, your emotional peak, right?
Yeah.
And your human brain remembers those because they're part of survival, whether it's scary or something exciting. It remembers those. So all these things to say is just because you start realizing, if you start learning how the human brain works, then you kind of like brush things off sometimes. Because, you know, I get it, right? Like, I get why people would, like, be mad at the first time when they haven't seen all the good stuff that we've done. It's because it's part of the human nature.
A lot more opportunities came to me, just naturally. I never, what's your theory you were talking about earlier? Push and pull.
Push and pull.
Push and pull, right? Where you don't have to try. Everything just
push,
naturally,
But you also got to know how to pull. So you need both. Life is really to be, like, multifaceted, bro, like you said.
Touch on that a little bit.
Well,
your push and pull.
like you said, right? Like, essentially, you got to do the work. You got to be that person that you say you are, and you got to be that person now. Where it's like if you just work, and you're kind of like in a tunnel vision, you kind of tend to lose the world around you, and you start focusing on that thing. And it's not a bad thing, but you also got to know to step back to get better ideas. So do both.
Yeah.
Do both, and like that could be in a sense of like traveling, right? And taking some time to like breathe and like see the world, extract yourself and see where the world's
The biggest things that you have done in your career, the biggest projects you've worked on, the biggest clients you've worked on, were those pushes or pulls?
That's a very good question, bro. You ready for this? They're all pulls. Why? Because there's no one around me that I can do today that I have to push. Early on, I could do as many videos as I could. But if I extract myself and have my alone time and like learn from creators all over the world, in some crazy shape or form, it just brought me to Miami, which in that case brought me to the right people, which in that case brought me to the same frequency and energy as the people that I've been watching the whole time. So
We're like you're in a coffee shop and all of a sudden just Gary Vee steps in because he knows your boys and them and
bro,
and he's just sitting there
swear to
chopping
God,
it up with you. Like Like people pay thousands of dollars to schedule a meeting to sit down with this gentleman to learn the sauce from him. And he just strolls into your where were you guys, Starbucks or something like that?
Bagel Bros.
Bagel Bros.
He just dropped off his kids too.
He's just
super chill guy.
He's just there,
Yeah.
chopping it up with a bunch of creators, right?
And it's
Like,
crazy because, like, bro, the way you put it really makes me, like, think about how that whole thing kind of just, in general, life in general is a simulation. You got to be that person today. And everything's aligned, right? You got those thoughts for a reason. Everything is like, as much as I hate to be spiritual, like, bro,
why do you
really
have to
all
be
comes down
spiritual?
to
What do you mean?
Like, I hate to be like raw and this and that. Like, I don't know. To me, it just sounds so corny. Like, you always hear all the time.
Oh, the
like, follow
cliche
your
stuff? Yeah.
dreams and all that.
Yeah.
It really, you have to be connected to that, to your core, and practice that.
Well, the thing I love that you introduced me to, and I didn't put this together in the 43 years of my life until
we're men, bro, as well. We're like hard-headed
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, we're very hard. Yeah. We haven't.
Or the world at least teaches us to be hard-headed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do think it's just the way we're naturally wired, and we're protectors and we're providers. And even if you don't have anybody to provide for, your DNA is still structured in a way that is getting you prepared to be that person that needs to be that person.
Yeah.
in
And it
some
feels
form.
natural to you. Right?
Yeah,
doesn't
it feels natural to
But
you.
I guess the bad thing can also feel natural to you. So I can't say it feels natural. It feels.
What do you mean the bad thing? What do you
Because,
mean?
like, let's say someone's bad and has an evil spirit, and they, like, start robbing people, and for them that feels natural. Anything can feel natural to anybody. So I won't say it feels natural. I'll say it feels right to you in terms of, like, what brought you, what you're here in your life for. Your
It's an
mission.
interesting thought. Yeah, I've never so evil people, if you want to call them that, who are
Yeah,
doing
like,
bad things.
the way
that feels normal to them to be bad.
Yeah, because,
That's
like,
their
the way
normal.
the way we're wired, some people are wired differently. So you could say, you know, how some people don't like onions, some people like onions. Same thing to people that are, like, robbing people, right? Maybe that's what they're, like, it just feels right for them to do that and help their family, right? But obviously they don't know that there's other opportunities out there to make money, but also just they don't really. At the end of the day, bro, your brain is really, really something you should gatekeep, and whatever you're consuming, you protect yourself, because otherwise you also extract yourself, right? Because, like, for me, bro, knowing what I know now with, like, all the creator space and everything, I wouldn't have been able to do it if I didn't consume people from all over the world, right? Because then, bro, if you're in the high school and no one's a creative, you're not going to be a creative.
Because you don't know that it
You
exists.
don't know it exists. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been a firm believer that other people have to expand your mind. So, like, experiences in my life that I've been very fortunate to have, whether it's going somewhere that a company has flown me out to and realize, like, whoa, and being around other people that are doing much bigger things or have much happier families. It doesn't even have to be monetarily, right? Yeah. There's been families that I've been around, and, you know, the family I grew up in wasn't the healthiest per se. And so when I was around this one really great family that I always admired whenever I was around them, they even expanded my mind into wait, this is what a family can look like? Like, this is what a mom and dad, they could actually
Starts
get
opening your
along
brain,
like this? And, like, wait a second, brothers and sisters could actually get along? Like, you know, expanding your mind that way, or even if it's something that has to do with business or money, like going out, somebody else has to expand your mind. You're like, oh man, I'm doing okay right now.
And perspective too.
So you go somewhere else and you're like, wait a second, I'm not doing that well. It could be dangerous, but at the same time, it could be part of that push and pull. You know what I mean?
And perspective too, bro.
Perspective,
You
yeah.
come in like, dude, I'm so tired. My legs are sore, bro. I'm not going to gym today, bro, honestly.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
be character me. Bro, my legs are sore. It feels so good.
Yeah.
You should probably go do some back today, because honestly, I'm feeling back today.
Yeah.
So you see how
Yeah.
crazy? How crazy.
Yeah.
And that's why, bro, we always tunnel vision, right?
Yeah.
Because we protect our peace and our,
Yeah.
our mind, let alone our, like, perspective and mindset.
Yeah.
And our ability to think big.
Yeah.
And really, like, protect your ambition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, and I guess you can say frequency, your energy, your day to day. So
What I was getting to earlier though was
you gotta regulate
there's
your
a lot of
nervous
people
system,
going in
sir.
and out of my house right now. Hold on, let me turn this off. your nervous system, and also like you're talking about energies and things. You introduced me to, you sent me this one video and I watched it, and I didn't realize that this step was actually a big part of what was missing in my life in order to make real change. And that
With
was,
Katie?
was step one, was creating separation. And the real purpose of meditation. In my mind, I always thought that meditation was just so I can get calm and be at peace and forget everything else that's going on. When it really is about creating the space that will allow for the real awareness that your soul needs in order to truly not just manifest and attract the proper people and opportunities into your life, but that separation needs to be created so that you could disconnect in order to reconnect properly. Because you could be in a really bad place and think you're okay and like sit there and like want the best, but those things will never connect. They'll never come together if you didn't create that place of separation in order for that to properly come into your life. Right?
Be that person today.
And be that person, right? And to be that person, because as long as you're essentially still carrying all that, it's not gonna ever create enough space for you to allow the other thing for you to carry, because you're still carrying that. You gotta get some things off your back in order to be able to carry the new load that God and the universe wants to give you, right? So like that part was always missing for me. I never realized how important the meditation aspect of it was, and creating that separation and praying and fasting and things like that, right? Prayer and fast is huge just in itself. Like if anybody can do a fast, I highly recommend it. I know it's a new thing.
Clear your
now.
mind, right?
Clear your mind.
But
Just
like everything, even the water, your toothpaste can change the way you
Everything,
feel,
yeah.
your acidity, your stomach, whatever, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
just keep it clear.
It's like now, it's bad because like there's too much information. There's those guys
so
on.
much.
There's that guy
but
on.
hey, there's so much. We're thankful for all this information.
Yeah, we're thankful for that information, and then it's like, okay, well, I just saw this guy do a video on which water's good for you. Saratoga is like a 7 out of 10, and then a Pellegrino's like 1 out of 10, and then it's like Fiji's like 0 out of 10, and you're like, wait a second, now I can't even drink water. You know, now you got to figure out like what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
So.
I try to keep a good balance between like learning and being aware, but also like, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, there's only so much I can control. Control your sleep, control your spirit, your nervous system, and just be a better person every day.
Yeah.
That about wraps it up. That would be a perfect ending. Paul, anything you want to say to the people of the world?
That's it. We said it.
Sal just came in. Sal, you want to share anything to the people of the world listening to right now?
Stay positive.
Stay positive. There you go. All right, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time.